Whoa. Damn. We back again. I'm my AP. And yeah, before I hold on, let me bless this YouTube real quick. Amen. Yeah, like I said, because some people have been texting me like, yo dude, what's going on? You rebranding the page. I'm not rebranding the page, just I haven't been popping outside, so there's not really much to vlog. At the same time, I don't want the page to like lose, like I still got to keep the view count high, even if it's like 30, 40 views, 50 views. It's still, you know, building the history. And it's a good mix up, because I always intended this page, like I always intended this to be more of a hobby, because like I can't really be making I can't be making no money from YouTube right now because of the country that I'm in, and I haven't hit the particular numbers yet. But yeah, I'm just gonna be posting these, mixing up a bit. I got a whole different type of I'm talking too much, different type of stuff coming up, like some chilling in the car with food. Like I most likely would get a guest with me. We just having conversations, talking. That could be a nice little vlog too. Just doing a lot of different type of stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if I have a community yet for the 207 people following me. I don't know if like those guys are like regular watchers or what's happening, but yeah. But if you are a regular watcher, you know, just post on your status, share. Shout out to those who've been watching, who are tapped in, who do take their little 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes of their day to watch these videos. I do much appreciate it. But you know, you gotta build small and start up, hit up. But yeah, just a couple minutes of your time, just take that out, post it on your story, whatever it may be, and that's all you really gotta do. Just like and share. Literally like, share, you're already subscribed, and then that's the end of it, bro. You doing that will help the channel go far away, because one share could reach somebody else, and that somebody else could reach somebody else, and like we just keep building just like that. You know, you guys are my community. I'm only doing these because like, one, I just love being on YouTube, and two, like you guys, you know, every time I get feedback from you guys, kind of make me feel like, yeah, okay, I'm doing something worthwhile. I ain't just wasting my time. But yeah, as you guys can see by the title, the conversation of today is do not allow the expectations of others to define your future. That's a big topic for a lot of young people coming up, because with that topic, it's kind of like a canon event that everybody needs to go through. You know what I mean? You always just meet particular people in your life that for some reason they feel like they know more than you, the actual person, you know, who wants to guide and direct and take what they believe and impact it into your life. You know what I mean? And they want to take what they know and try to mold you in that particular light. And a lot of people fall victim of that, and then end up forgetting who they are or what they want to be, and then end up becoming this new version that this particular person or people have now kind of narrated into, you get what I mean, to your destiny and stuff like that. So we gonna cover a couple little things like that. Like I said, I always encourage people to comment on my comment section. You know, you can text me personally. My IG's like down there in the description, and all my information's in the description. So if you're trying to contact me, it's not that hard. You know where to find me. But yeah, outside voices, people talking, people watching, people always giving comments, all doing, it's something that you cannot avoid, right? Whether it's in family, whether it's in your friend group, whether it's in wherever, you can't avoid those particular things. Somebody will always have something to say about you, whether negative or positive, but they will always be a point of view about you in somebody's eyes. And no two people will have the same point of view of you. They may share similar things, like you may find two people say that you're funny, you're kind, but then at the end of the day, there's gonna be that particular thing in their mind that nobody else has, and it's just the same person, the same thing for every person you encounter. Everybody always has this different point of view of who you are, the conversations you have with them, whether you're a good person, a bad person. Some people might find you gentle, kind, other people might find you mean, annoying, but that's simply how the world works. And a big part of not allowing that particular thing mind you, like I'm up, like I'm up, but these guys be walking with the most biggest speakers you will ever find, bro. Anyway, shout out to Mama Salon, true. My games, but yeah, like I was saying, just it's impossible not to encounter these people. But one important factor when you encounter these people is where were you? Where are you currently in finding out who you are, and where are you currently in understanding what you want to become? You know, what you learned at home, what you learned coming outside of home. All of these things will now be the important factors in how these words influence you and how these interactions influence you. Are you gaining? Are you losing? Are you, you know, all these particular things put together? Like, what exactly is going on? What exactly is the vibe? What exactly is not what exactly, but where exactly are you in your life? And if you don't know exactly where you are in your life, you will generally fall victim to these moments where people will come into your life and they will say all these particular things, and you not knowing exactly what you want to become or who you currently are right now, you will end up getting swayed by it. For example, it's a situation of if you are somebody that wants to become an artist, right? Let's use a very common thing in Sierra Leone, becoming an artist. And you generally love music, and you can actually write music, you can create music, you can produce music, but at the same time, on the come up, you're not gonna be perfect off the first try. You know, there's not a lot of people who get their first hit off their first single, off their first song. It's a very rare thing to do, right? And majority of them always end up as one-hit wonders. So you as an artist on the come up, and you're a young, hungry individual trying to become something, and then you start encountering different types of people who all have this different point of view, and who all want to start giving you different pointers on how your music should sound, and how to get to this particular level in your life, and how to become him, and how to get engagement and all these different things. And now, if you are entering this field and not knowing exactly what you want your music to be, you don't know exactly what you want your identity to your fans to be, you don't know what type of genre you want to, you know, try to mainstream, and you don't know the particular type of sound, vibe, flow you want to adapt, you want to, you know, create, those words will now start to corrupt this vision you're trying to create. And that's the most scariest thing. They will always come in the moment when you're trying to create it, when you're trying to build it. When you're trying to build it, that's when they come. That's when they now start to, you know, generally always give their little pointers, try to change this, try and change that. And then over time you start to realize that this idea or this vision you had slowly starts to die, because it's no longer what you wanted it to be. It got influenced and influenced and influenced and influenced to the point where you no longer know what the hell you're trying to create. You're just trying to chase what's the main thing. And honestly speaking, that's some great advice that I even had a conversation with one of my homeboys who does music. He's in South Africa. I told him, I was like, you need to be able to create music that you know that you want to push, not what's popping now, right? Because he recently wanted to start jumping into this new I'm a piano flow thing, and I was like, that's all good, that's popping right now, and that's perfectly fine, but is that your music? Is that your music? Are you doing this so you can blow? Or are you doing this because this is what the people are demanding? Or are you trying to make people listen to your music? Are you trying to make people listen to your sound? Are you trying to make people listen to your flow? Are you trying to create your fan base? And this can apply in different aspects of it, whether it's in business, whether it's in food, or whatever it is. When you are creating this particular thing as a person, when you are now chasing this dream, this desire, and you're trying to change it from a dream and desire into reality, are you doing it based off your vision and what you see for it, or based off the influence of other people, and now you're trying to make sure that you're people crowd pleasing or people pleasing? There we go. Things like that generally stop so many dreams that could have become something great and turn them into nothing, right? And I just wanted to bring light to that and have a conversation about that. But I think that's like a good intro, even though it was 10 minutes in. But I just want to have a conversation about that and just talk about different things that influence it. So basically we're gonna move into now the I'm gonna use Sierra Leone as an example a lot, right? Because I know majority of you guys are Sierra Leone-based viewers, and but it's also just a lot of people can relate regardless, right? So we're gonna talk about like the famous people now currently, right? We have who can I call? Peter. We have Jacob. We'll use those two for now. How I first knew about them was through my friends, right? And I knew about them through them laughing at them, honestly. Came into class once and they were all huddled up together and they were looking at a phone and they were laughing, giggling. I was like, yo, what guys, what's going on? Went over there and I saw them looking at these two guys on TikTok. And at this point in time, they didn't really blow yet, but the numbers were growing, but they didn't really go up there yet, right? The numbers were growing, but the fan base was still more mockery and laughter than actual support and admiration. So I was like, yo guys, who are these? And this is like my first introduction to them. And they're like, oh, this guy, da 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 da. So I look at these stupid TikToks, slow-mo walking, like this boy weird, da da da, not to me being insane, all these different things. And to somebody else who isn't really chasing it with all their heart and who isn't really fully committed to what they're about to get themselves into, moments like that will crumble them, bro. I know so many guys who stop what they're doing because of what people said. You know what I mean? At one point in time, I almost lost my way with the dreams and desires I wanted to have social media wise, because it was just a period of my life where all I just got was hate. Unnecessary hate too. Because when I look back at my content, I'm somebody that's a very genuine critique. Like I look at now like my content bums, but then I was like, bro, this is actually good content. Why am I just getting hate? And it wasn't hate from randoms, it was hate from people that I knew, right? So all those type of things, if it just comes and it comes and it comes, you mentally start to be like, okay, maybe I should switch it up and try to do this so they won't hate it as much if they start liking it more. But in the moment you do that, you lose your identity. And I use those two as an example because Peter and Jacob, because what they are now, famous actor, famous TikToker, famous singer, brand ambassador, all these different things, right? And they, in SL, when they walk around these streets, they're greeted with respect from big men with big corporations and big money, right? Why is that? Because they ended up turning all the doubters into believers and continue doing what they had to do. They started it with zero, and they're now both sitting at millions and millions of followers on several different platforms, right? In different countries as well. Very famous in different countries. So you now, as somebody who's trying to become something more, like I said, it could be in sports, it could be in business, it could be in entertainment, it could be in whatever aspect of it. You allowing other people to come into your life and give all these extra opinions will generally ruin your destiny. It will ruin your future, and it will confuse the thing that God has ordained for you to become. So you need to genuinely be prepared mentally for all this particular chitty chatter. And we live in a world that is social media. Right? Social media is the key to everything. Whatever thing you are participating in, social media is the key to it, bro. There's no way around it. Even the engineers are somehow mingling with social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the reality of it. The guys behind the curtain are on social media. The guys in front of the curtain are on social media. And social media is on different platforms, whether it's the internet, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the situation may be, right? The world is somehow just always going to know. The news, all these different things, blog pages and stuff like that. And I always tell people this, right? People will talk. There's no way you're gonna run away from that. People will look. The moment you decide to take that step outside your comfort zone, always be prepared for information right back at you. There is nothing you can do to run away from that truth. It's gonna come right back. So always have that at the back of your mind where it's gonna come right back, bro. There. All of this, it's gonna come right back. Am I prepared for it? Am I ready for it? Am I ready for all the talking, for all the chitter chatter? Am I truly ready? So ask yourself all these questions before taking that jump out there. Because there's a lot of negative people who just live. They'll look at you and just say whatever they feel like saying because they can. Honestly, they can. You can't run away from that fact that they can. Can't stop them from speaking. Can't fight every single person out there. So, with that being said, are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have your particular plan? The thing that you want, the thing that you know that no person will ever come in your way and change that idea, because you've already told yourself that I'm doing it my way and it doesn't care what A, B, C, D says, but I'm going to achieve this and I'm going to go forward with it because I know what I need to become and no one else is going to tell me how to do it. Another thing to add on it is that there's a lot of people who love to speak on topics they know nothing about, right? It's a human flaw that I don't understand. Like, a lot of people just love to speak on topics they know nothing about. They love to always add their 2 cents to things that never involve them. They always like to critique someone else about something they're suffering in the shadows, but they still do it because nobody knows that they're suffering from it in the shadows. So they play the saint and, have their way with it. Human beings are like that. And you have to be prepared to meet all these type of human beings. The manipulative ones, the liars, the all these guys who have all these particular traits that will somehow affect your journey, affect your mental, affect your spiritual, affect your physical. All of these people will come your way. And this is not even advice for somebody who's trying to be great, right? This is not even advice for somebody who's trying to be famous and well-known. Even in workspaces, bro. In your workspace, in school, in uni, in life, especially in family, bro. Family is another big place where there's so many people that know more, that know what's good for you than you, the person yourself. You know what I mean? They know how you're supposed to live your future. With parents and with aunties and uncles and all these different things. But yeah, just you have to stay focused. You have to be prepared. You have to ask yourself the right questions. Asking yourself the right questions can save you a lot of time. Asking yourself the right questions, sitting down and spending time trying to figure out the answers to those questions, and making sure that you're not wasting your time, just mucking about. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm trying my best not to talk more than 20 minutes, Hope you guys are liking these so far. I'm not really trying to become like a whole philosopher or something, Just like having conversations and speaking. At the same time, I think this, like, for me, a space where I can just, this is how I naturally talk. These are the type of conversations that I naturally like to have. These are the type of things that I naturally like to debate on and speak with. So I think it's just a nice place for me to just like be out there and vibe. So yeah, don't worry, more vlogs gonna be popping up. We're gonna be outside real soon, doing what we do best, having fun, same with good content. The homeboys gonna be back, girls gonna be back, everything gonna be popping. Like I said, if you're watching this to the end, which I know a lot of you guys aren't watching this to the end, just comment in the comment section what you want. right? Actually be like, yo, I think this would be a tough idea for YouTube video. Send it out there. If you guys are. If you guys aren't, I don't know you when I get famous. All right, peace out.